Welcome to episode 2 of SportBuka podcast. And today with me on the show, I have
the mighty husband material.
on
Mighty,
this show,
mighty.
His name is Chukwudi.
Ezugu Chukwudi. Actually, Ezugu Chukwudi, because if I want to send you my bank details to beg for money, it's Ezugu Chukwudi.
And as well, okay, joins us as well on the show, back on the show.
Yep. Back.
And a quick one, this week, let's start, we don't need to go in on the radar. We'll start off with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. What's your opinion about the fight? It's a draw. This is the first time I've seen, I felt it was Fury. Well, what's your opinion about the fight?
Well, I think that, I would obviously have a bias because Wilder, for me, talks a lot of trash.
As I think I'll say Fury in terms of trash talking. Maybe after Muhammad Ali.
No. Muhammad Ali was,
the king of trash talking.
Yes, but he always, put his money where his mouth is.
Yes.
And when he talks, he's really very, very intelligent. He's like a poet. He plays with words. But Tyson Fury is just there, Then Deontay Wilder is always shouting and making noise. There was this footage of him after the weigh-ins where he shouted, "Ah!" And the lady that was standing next to him was really very terrified. I think that, boxing, like every other sport, is one you show your opponents respect and you go into the ring and do the business. But importantly, you give the fans what they come out to watch.
What they paid for.
Yes. When we look at, the heavyweight division in this age and time, I think, people like Tyson Fury, people like Deontay Wilder, and even our own Anthony Joshua, have to do a whole lot more to rub shoulders with the greats like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, Sugar Ray, Lennox Lewis, and the rest of them. But then this is what we are faced with. We're hoping that these guys can restore the glory of that division. But most importantly, it should always be about what you bring when you come into the ring and you give us the fight. Now, I saw the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight. For me, aside from my obvious bias, Deontay Wilder is way better than Tyson Fury is way better than Deontay Wilder. I did Agbole boxing, growing up as a young boy, where you go to Ilasa,
you ruffle shoulders. Let's test powers together.
All those guys will call show logo in the area.
And Deontay Wilder is like Nigerian.
Yes,
that's
what he claims, that he's 32% Nigerian.
That's what he can't be 32% Nigerian. If you're not Nigerian, you're not Nigerian.
Maybe that spirit runs in him. Like Agbero, in terms of Oshodi.
At least we know Anthony Joshua has a Yoruba name.
Yes.
We know Anthony Joshua, he was even given a chieftain's title in Shagamu.
Yeah, exactly. And he likes Eba as well.
Deontay Wilder and draw soup. Deontay Wilder should stop deceiving himself.
Okay, what's your opinion about the fight?
For me, I think Fury has not fought in like 2 years. No competitive fight in 2 years. And for you to come out of that
and show that kind of
performance that night, as in, he was
against someone who calls himself the Bronze Bomber.
That has been fighting for how many months now?
His last fight was in March.
In March, yeah. But the thing is that
when
he has had more fights.
Otis that is not better than a bag of beans.
So the thing is, like I said last week podcast, that I said the caliber of people Wilder has fought compared to the caliber of people Fury fought while he was still very active before he went on these 2 years hiatus. Now, it showed during the fight that he was a little bit rusty, you could tell, but he had the technique, the skills were there. You could see it. You could see the way Wilder was just throwing heavy punches, trying to knock Fury down.
Street fighter.
But Fury was technical about the way he punched and the way he weaved his punch, Wilder's punches.
Okay, quick one. We need to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Gone in 10 seconds. Husband, we have a segment. You have to give me your opinion in 10 seconds. Gone in 10 seconds. Do you think when they have a rematch, Fury will beat Wilder?
Yes, I'm very certain that,
in support. I second that.
Now let's move on to the next story, which is football. Now, Sierra Leone has been disqualified for the Nations Cup, and we don't know who's hosting now because they stripped Cameroon off there. But now it gives Kenya and Cameroon the chance.
Ghana.
And at this point, let's start off with who do you think will host the next Africa? We've seen South Africa coming to the radar. Morocco as well.
Yeah.
But I think I will come up the opinion that I think it's unfair on Cameroon. Because when they won the rights, it was just only 16 teams. And now, CAF brought it to them last year that they need to prepare for 23 teams now. It gives them more, they should give them more lengthy time and more support. But now, CAF came up over the weekend and said they've not put in the right things in place at this point in time. What's your opinion about that?
I think to be fair to Cameroon, like you said, initially it was supposed to be, prepare for the normal 16 teams, but now you have to do 24.
Yes.
But the truth is, I mean, business is business. If you say this is the goal, we're preparing for 24 teams, then you should be ready for 24 teams. If you cannot handle the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Say we will not be able to deal with this. Maybe you can, try to extend the
date. Even the date is already extended. No,
maybe
the
extend
Nations Cup
time when you are going to do 24 teams.
Now
it can be the next edition. Like for FIFA, people are saying, should we wait
48
until
teams?
Yes, should we do Qatar
or
should we wait
2026?
till Mexico, Canada and the United States of America? But the truth is, I mean, you should lobby and try to convince. But unfortunately, even the body in North Africa is already pushing for Morocco to stage the Mondial. It's really very, very important to note that at the end of the day, whether you try to be fair to Cameroon or not, the business is the business. We don't want a competition where somebody would strike a shot now and it will hit an iron bar and the ball will break and they will now come and say, let's go and
I think if I'm
sort of organizer.
I think I have an opinion about that as well. So as much as I will not blame Cameroon on this, I will say we've seen the European nations, which is the Nations Cup as well, to which the Europe editions of the Nations Cup as well. We've seen a lot of preparation. And when the boys down to Africa, the last edition was supposed to be hosted by Libya before South Africa took over as well too. And it's like the last 3 editions, we had to switch to teams that are not even ready. I think there's still something lacking in Africa in terms of preparation and organization. I was privileged to be part of people who were planning to host. It's still under the radar, but it didn't fly because something happened. To host, Nigeria actually wanted to host a mini World Cup in 2019. We were working on it. I spent like a couple of
mini World Cup.
I don't want. I'm trying to. I don't want to mention it out because
maybe table soccer World Cup.
It's not table soccer. It's a female World Cup in 2019. Lagos was supposed to host, but it didn't fly. And I know a lot of work being put to that edition in terms of logistics, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of transport, in terms of stadiums. Those are the kind of things that
we are not even sure of our own election. It's now mini World Cup.
Our own league. Have we done anything about
what I'm
it?
saying is that this thing eventually didn't fly. But I know a lot of work.
He did not even get to the airport.
No, he was supposed to get to the airport, but due to some reasons beyond us, which I can't mention on this show.
Now our father say he who fails to plan to fail. The truth is, it's not all mouth, it's not all talk. You also need to show that you are ready. Now, in the case of Libya, we know the civil unrest and the political crisis in Libya.
Yeah.
And if you look at FIFA, for example, I mean, this is 2018. We're already talking of Qatar 2022 that we knew as far back as 5 years ago. We're already talking of 2026, and we're saying.
And as well, let me chip in this. The Tokyo 2022 Olympics, as of today, is ready. As in logistics, stadiums, everything.
And that is
600 days to
planning.
the event.
That's why ready. Because you plan and you set a
and
standard.
As well, that will be the first in terms of digital technology World Cup. They said they want to show the world what Japanese is made of.
What are we going to show the world? We'll bring plantain and be arguing
jollof rice. So, but basically, if it happens to hold in Cameroon,
it's not going to hold in Cameroon. It's never going to hold in Cameroon.
I feel it should be hosted in East Africa because I really can't remember the last time.
No, it cannot be an East Africa. It should be who is
Kenya.
Ready, who has the facilities.
I get your point, but Kenya has come forward.
Now it's not even 16 teams, it's 24.
24 teams.
To accommodate these people as well.
Yeah, but Kenya
and
has
now
come forward.
We have less than a year to go.
Let's just save ourselves on the drama. I think it's Morocco. They have tried to host the World Cup. Let them show us that they are really ready and even give themselves an edge, maybe 2030. so that they would say, well, they hosted 24 teams in 2019. Yeah, in 2019, and so they can host it.
Before we move on to
48
the
teams.
gone in 10 seconds, do you think CAF did the right thing to strip up Cameroon of the hosting rights?
I think they did because business is business.
And okay, do you think Morocco should take in?
Yeah, of course. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's not when you go to Cameroon and things are wrong, then
Let's
you
go.
start
Let's
complaining.
go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll start off with the next story on the show. Welcome back to the show, and now let's move on to athletics. Over the weekend, the IAAF, the body representing International Athletics Federation, honors the likes of Jessica Owens and 11 others with heritage plaques, and this is the first time coming from the stables of the new president, Sebastian Coe. And like he said he wants them to be like a recognition of the highlight of the career aspect, and I felt like this is the first time. The IAF always have these awards every year, and I think this year was the first time that you could see the buzz, the traction on social media. Maybe because of the Heritage Award, not because I've read a lot about the likes of Jessica Owen, and I'm watching them on Sunday receiving these flags brought in those kind of memories of people you've watched way back. I saw clips of black and white televisions, and now it gave me like a glimpse of
What it used to be in the past.
As well.
I think that athletics has taken a hit. People like Justin Gatlin coming back to the sport and trying to compete. Marion Jones and other people who.
Marion Jones never came back.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, some of the things that happened in the past, took the minds of a lot of people away from athletics and the love.
The dopings, the Russian dopings, and the rest.
Just like what happened with cycling also. Now the truth is, there were people who we would never have known about their countries or themselves if it wasn't for the blessing of athletics.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how they used to call Frankie Fredericks. That was the first time I learned about Namibia. I went to do my
Kenita
study.
Bekele, Gali Gabriel Salas.
Even the lady that was fondly referred to as, the Maputo Express.
Yeah.
That was when we first heard about countries like Mozambique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the truth is, a lot of these people put their countries on the map, and let the world see that people are creative, people are talented, and through their talent, they are trying to bridge, societies and cultures and gaps. So I think honoring such people, it's a good way to go. Like making people understand that even though you might not win all of the gold medals, you might not be like Usain Bolt. It's once in a generation. You might not be like Usain Bolt. You might not have a career that would span 10, 15 years. But if you give your best to the sport, we would recognize you, we would celebrate you, and the world will never forget your contribution to the sport.
And as well, to buttress on that, the likes of Ferry Frederick won. The last time he won something was in 1995, and it's been honored in 2018. That shows we are not going to, after you left the sport, we are not just going to.
I think that's the very essence of the Heritage Award. Where people just remember all the glory days, and young people who are coming up can learn and know that even after 20 years, 30 years,
we'll still be
we'll be remembered for what we have done for the sport.
And quick one, let's move on to golf. Tiger Woods said 2018 was a very incredible year, and undoubtedly for me, when we felt it's all over, and it came back to be world number one. And you see that coming? As in, I watch clips of sharing with journalists, golf experts, people sharing their opinions and how Tiger Woods will never make it. And it just shows about life that 2-3 years in your life, if you are nothing, in the next 2 or 3 months can change your. But you still need to put the same hard work, the same kind of mentality. If you didn't believe in yourself, you will not have won anything in 2018. And I feel if as an athlete, I'm going to pick my best athlete for 2018, I think it will be
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, good one. But I think that you cannot blame the experts and the journalists who said.
I'm not blaming anybody.
Yeah, because what they do is they look at
people already giving up on him.
Yeah, I mean,
and he came to prove everybody wrong.
What had happened was enough for people to actually give up on his career. Like he's done and dusted.
But I think we can just take the lessons. I mean, look at Novak Djokovic also.
Yes.
We can take the lessons and just understand that, through hard work, dedication to duty,
Perseverance,
and your routine, perseverance and consistency, you can shock the world and still prove everyone wrong.
In that case, Federer is like my ideal role model for that, because with his age and everything, he's still a force to reckon with.
And as well, before we go, let's talk about the Super Falcons. They are champions again for the 9th time, for 11th time. They've only lost.
Yeah, they've lost twice.
It's not even the final. They didn't make it to the final. And with the lack of preparation, there was no preparation.
There was no preparation whatsoever.
And it keeps proving to us that they're still the best female team on the continent of Africa. And my question now is, the World Cup is some few months ago in 2019. What are your advice to the NFF? We've heard words from Amadou Pinnick, from Barrister Seyi Akinwumi, that they were the best. They will have a better preparation than the Super Eagles. But I'm not going to say it here that I don't think that was possible. But what's your advice to the NFF?
I think it's
because they've done enough for us to have the same kind of glamour like the NFF. I mean, like the Super Eagles going to the World Cup.
I think it's simple. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we understand that when we look at female football, we don't rank up there.
And an example is that you could see the game on Saturday. You could see the golf. I will not say golf in class. You could see the margin very close. Yeah. In 4-5 years, teams like South Africa,
4-5 years,
they don't even stand a chance against the Super Falcons.
Okay,
now,
4-5 years ago,
back,
very
you don't stand a chance.
Ago, yeah.
But now you could see the closing game. I think even that game, they were the better side on the final. South Africa, they played the Bayana played better, but lack of experience. I mean, due to experience, we are able to. It was penalty shootout, was like more of like a lock, but we could see. And if we are not careful, if we don't develop our leagues, and if you don't improve on female football, in the next 2-3 years, we'll struggle to beat this side. The likes of Cameroon, Ghana, and the rest. We need to do more.
Well, as regards to what you say, who played better, I think we played better than South African. So. Yeah, I think we played better. So. And we also lost the penalty during the game. Yeah, we did lose the penalty. So, there was luck.
I saw like,
you are not convinced.
I saw like 3 games this throughout the competition. I was not convinced. This was one of the Falcons that blew team 6-4-5
0 see, it's natural. It's only nature.
I can remember during the likes of Messi, Akide, and the rest. You see 6-0, 7-0, 11-1.
You could say when Man U and Arsenal were blowing the rest of the teams away in the Premiership. It's not like that again. People will grow. People will want to improve and get to your standard. You're the benchmark.
And my that's where my question is that if we don't improve, as a nation,
you have to now improve.
In the next 2-3 years, we'll struggle to beat the likes of South Africa and Cameroon.
I think the reality is,
they are catching up with us.
They have caught up with us. I mean, we lost our first game to South Africa.
Yes.
And, the performance of the girls were
below par.
It was shambolic. But the true nature of the champion or character is the ability to bounce back from every challenge. And what we must do, you have profiled the solutions. Try as much as you can to prepare, and most importantly, invest in our leagues. We cannot just hope on people like Francisca Odega, Asisat Oshola,
coming all the way from China,
Oname
AB as well,
coming from different parts of the world to come and represent us. I mean, even our Ajibade, who is like hot cake here in the league in Nigeria, played second
Fido to Okparadozie. But in the final, the coach started. And as well, before we go, I want to ask this. Denebe, I don't have any issue with him, but I didn't see any difference with the last outcome. I think we even played better. The last one that we won, where we have
Florence
Omagwemi as a coach. I don't have any issue with Denebe, but I've not seen that technical know-how. As in, you could see an experience. You say this is why we brought in this coach. I may be wrong, but for me personally, I didn't see anything the coach has brought into the team.
Well, I think that if we all agree that they did not prepare adequately for the competition, and then
they had a 2 weeks camp somewhere in Ekpe.
No friendly games. They played against an all-boy team. Now, if we agree that they did not prepare adequately for the competition, and we play how many games to win a competition and expect that the coach would, by maybe waving a magic wand, turn things around. I think it's a long way to go. What we must do is set a target and say, okay, we hope that you'll be able to achieve this, number one. We also hope that we should see a lot of improvements in the squad with respect to our delivery on the field of play, say the way the girls finish off their opponents quickly in games. Like you mentioned the days where we used to win 11, 15, 18, 6, 7, countries like Ghana, South Africa, anytime they were coming to play against Super Falcons, they would just branch Oyinbo Market and buy a basket because they would definitely go back with a lot of goals. So I think that we need to try as much as we can to begin to prepare and most importantly invest in the league, because investing in the female league in Nigeria is guaranteeing your future. If you do not invest in the league, then you're killing the league, while other people who are your rivals now are doing well to invest in their leagues. And I mean, there's no in the past there used to be a gulf
in class.
We were continents ahead of all the female African teams in Africa, but now it's a lot worse. And
on our final straw on that show today, we talk about Luka Modric winning the Ballon d'Or. I think well deserved for me. I didn't see this year any Ronaldo or Messi who are dominated for the last 10 years, and I think for me, well deserved. What do you think about Luka Modric winning the Ballon d'Or? I think it's important to be fair. If you're considered the best player in the world, and people who are professionals in that field cast their votes, then for you, then it's an indication that a majority of the people agree that you have done just enough to win the title. And even though Luka Modric will not give you all the goals that you desire, the contribution of players like Luka Modric, on we can see with Real Madrid, and we can see with Croatia at the World Cup as well. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that Lionel Messi still has one more title.
I had that feeling as well too. Maybe next season, but I think before he finally qualifies.
I think he has one more season.
Yeah.
I think he has one more title because
and with the way Ronaldo is with the form in Serie A this season, I would not be surprised seeing both of them up next season back again, because Ronaldo is scoring goals for fun, doing assists for fun as well too. And before
I think it's unfair on Schneider. I think it's unfair on Schneider
because wants to bring us back to 2010.
No, it is true because Schneider was almost the same thing that Modric did.
There has been a lot of debate on social media.
Because it's unfair on
many people say they will not forgive FIFA because it was more like the same scenario.
It's the same scenario,
but I think it's a lot different. Schneider, fantastic player.
Was the World Cup here,
a lot of class, did a lot.
They got to the final, I think so.
Yeah, they got to the final.
But I don't think you would place Croatia and Netherlands on the same level. When you look at quality of players and expectations going into the World Cup, I don't think anybody expected Croatia to even get into the top 4 in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expected Croatia to finish in the top 4. Talking of getting into the finals. But if you see their journey through and how they fought and came back,
and I can remember vividly, there was a lot of pressure on that orange team that year because they have the likes of Robben,
Van
Schneider, Van Persie,
Van Bommel and Co.
But this is not taking anything away from Schneider.
But
in all honesty, I mean, 2010 and 2018.
I think that was the year Schneider won the Champions League.
Yes, he won the Champions League in Inter Milan that season.
So I think it was the best player of the
yes.
Champions League. I just feel it's unfair on him anyway.
That's the final topic on the show this week. And I would like to say very big thank you to Chukwudi for coming to grace this our seat on the show. We'd like to have you a couple of times as well.
Exactly.
Goke as well too. Goke will be like a regular on the show every week, and for me too in here. So thank you for having us this week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next week as well.
It's been fun having you on the show.
Thank you very much. Interesting experience.
Yeah. Thank you. See ya.